Welcome to Foundations TV, everybody. We are here on a gorgeous day sitting outside Da Vinci restaurant in Boston with two wonderful people and excellent chefs. One of them is actually traveling from India. He is a celebrity chef, Mr. Ranveer Brar. So welcome to Boston.
Thank you very much. It feels great to be back in Boston. This city has supported me for 5.5, actually 6 years. So yeah, always good to be back.
Wow. Now, you started this off with an excellent note back in Boston. So tell us about that. When were you in Boston before and what were you doing here?
When you said excellent note, I thought you were talking about the Chardonnay. But, but yeah, so I was here 2006 and opened a restaurant called Bank, BANQ, on 1375 Washington in South End. Ran that for 2 years. Worked with the One World Cuisine group. So yeah, as a city that really supported my food, the kind of stuff that I did, always feels good to be back. Yeah, yeah.
And is that when you met our friend here, Chef Peppino?
It was meant to be, right? So it's a very interesting story. So the restaurant was being constructed, and my restaurant wasn't ready. So I was walking around, and I see this Indian gentleman, and he's getting stuff done. And Eddie was the contractor. I still remember saying, "Hey Eddie, do this. Hey Eddie, do that." And yeah, so I walk right in. I say like, "Hey, Paji, how you doing?" Just to say hello to a fellow Indian. And he sat me down and he started asking me about wines. He's like, so he's like, so what do you think about a good Valpolicella or a Chianti or a good? I was like, yeah, okay. I just told him whatever I knew, and after a while, we said our highs and hellos and goodbye, and I left. And then we swapped numbers. So he called me after a while and like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I mistook you for a sommelier. You know. So that's how we first met. That he mistook me for a sommelier, and and yeah. And when the restaurant opened, I had nothing much to do, so we worked together here for a couple of days. Yeah, a little more than a couple of days. So it was good fun. So that was us working together. So and then onwards, it's just been yeah. I mean, I've come to believe that you don't need to be blood related to be brothers. Yeah. So he's yeah. I mean, he's a brother to me.
So you said the first time you saw him, you obviously didn't know that he also is into the food industry. You just knew him.
Here. So I met him here at the restaurant. So I knew that he was a chef. It's just that he mistook me for a sommelier. He mistook me for a wine person. So because some sommelier was coming here for an interview, so he thought I'm the guy. He just sat me down and he was like question on question on question on question. So
This scene seems right out of a Bollywood movie. All misunderstanding developed into a beautiful friendship for so many years. That's awesome. That's awesome. So now, speaking of being a chef, how did your journey begin as a chef?
so I started off in Lucknow. I started on the streets of Lucknow. Yeah, cooking with kebab vendors, and then I did my formal education. Worked with the Taj, the Oberoi, the Radisson. But yeah, Lucknow has a lot to do with what I cook and the way I cook.
Do you have a signature style?
My signature style is something that I call experiential. I would never make the same dish twice. That's my signature style. I believe that when you've crossed a bridge, it's never the same bridge. It's never the same you. So as food needs to change, needs to keep evolving. My travels need to show in food. The person that I am needs to show in food. I'm not the same person every minute. You're not the same person. So that's my style. It's more expressive and creative, as I call it. Very difficult doing that in a restaurant because restaurant people expect consistency. They don't, they want the same dishes over and over again. But yeah, I like to do new stuff every time.
And actually, you just answered the question I was going to ask you because it works fine with this creativity and this whole newness to every time you cook. It works absolutely great with the kind of work that you do, which is hosting and judging shows and traveling and doing all sorts of fun stuff with food, and rightly called the food stylist, which I love the term. But as a restaurant, do you own a restaurant at this point, or are you looking to build your own?
Yeah, so I co-own a restaurant in Mumbai, which is not yet open. It's called Tag by Ranveer. Um, Also, I work a lot with Viacom in India to open MTV bars and VH1 cafes for them. I also co-own a chain of pastry shops called English Winglish. Um, yeah, so that's that. Yeah.
All right, that sounds like fun. Now, after doing so many different things, I mean, you obviously come across as a person who's very accomplished and very satisfied with his journey. What's your favorite part of the journey? I'm sure it comes with a lot of struggles, which people don't see. But is it the struggles that you really enjoyed, or is it the successes that you're enjoying more?
Um, for me, the favorite part essentially is the failures. I think successes make you complacent. So when I came to Boston till then, whatever I'd done, it worked. You know, my first restaurant shutting down taught me a lot. It taught me that everybody's prone to failure, and failure is not bad. So that's what I remember. That's what I remember, and that's what I keep close to my heart. Should always remember your failures and learn from them. Yeah.
Now, as a chef, do you have a favorite food that you enjoy, like Italian or any certain regional food that you enjoy?
Khichdi.
Now, I'm sure the Desis in Boston are gonna love hearing that word.
Khichdi with lots of desi ghee and lots of papad and achar on the side. That's what I love.
So that's what you like to do on a night when you're by yourselves.
Boston winters, this time try that. Lots of khichdi, lots of ghee, and lots of papad.
So there's a little bit of spice and a little bit of homey comfort food.
Nothing beats comfort.
So now that we are here at Da Vinci, which is an absolute opposite of what we just spoke about. This is not desi. This is not the ghee style food. This is very classy Italian food, and we have Chef Peppino with us, who's a great friend of Ranveer. So welcome to Foundations TV first of all.
I never call Choop. He's my friend. He's my brother for me. I'm very. When I meet him, the first I say he's looking for jobs. So. Then I find, oh my God, he's the Ranveer Brar. Then I say, oh my God, thank God. It's a very lucky day for me. The first I meet him, we say he's a best heart. He's an honest guy. He's an amazing chef. Actually, Da Vinci today is all his hard work for me. We work together, and he helped me everything. And the menu, all the stuff, a lot of stuff. I never forget my whole life. What he gave to me. We work together. We go James House, New York, and then we go twice. When I did it for Da Vinci, we put together menu. He helped me a lot of stuff, and then we go to bank. We do same together. We fun work together. I would like the same day come back to work together one day. No, so my future plan I want to open restaurant with Ranveer. This is my dream. It's one day God help me. I want to open a restaurant with him. It's a beautiful, high-end, beautiful Indian restaurant we open together. This is my dream.
So everybody in Boston, let me tell you Peppino's story, okay? Peppino or Shigara Singh, as we know him better. So he left home very early. He left India very early, jumped ship, went to Holland. Holland गए थे ना पहला? Went to Holland, then Belgium, then Germany, and then worked in an Italian restaurant very early in his age. Worked with an Italian chef, learned a lot of work from him. All this while staying away from home. Managed. Then the restaurant opened. The chef opened a restaurant of his own. He took him there. So Peppino worked in his restaurant at a very senior position. Then he decided that US was calling. So he left everything, came to the US, started off in a very small pizzeria in Harvard Square. Somebody saw him making pizzas, like, you're not doing it for the first time. He says, no, I've been doing it for many years. So they took him over as a chef in a restaurant called Campania, La Campania in Waltham. And he's the first and the only truly Italian chef with Indian origin in New England. All of New England, I can truly say that. He's truly Italian. He's learned in Italy. He's cooked Italian food with Italians, so he's more Italian than Indian, and his food is more Italian than most Italian chefs that I know. So a lot of us know Peppino as Peppino, but it's 14 years of a lot of slogging in Europe, coming to the US, slogging here, and for him to have the courage and say, I want to open an Italian restaurant of my own. A lot of Indian chefs will not do that. A lot of Indian chefs will take a safe route and say, hey, I'm Indian, I'll open an Indian restaurant. So, yeah, so, talking about inspiration, now for me, that's inspiring.
I love the way you both are appreciating each other's journey, and that's really true friendship. And the bond I can see is very strong between the two of you. That's really amazing. Um,
Yeah, it's probably the wine.
for
But there's see the basis of a beautiful relationship at any level, whether it's relationship to food or relationship between people, is unconditionality. And with Peppino, unconditionality comes as a package. He's it's total unconditional friendship, and that's why he means what he means to me.
That's wonderful to hear. That's really. I mean, I've had his food, and I've really loved having his food, and I've seen how it's served with so much warmth as well. Besides the food itself, and the presentation of it, it's a lot of warmth too that goes in it. The way you serve it, and the way you make sure everybody really enjoys it and gets customized, food to their choice. And I'm sure it's so evident and so beautiful, the relationship that I'm seeing here today. Now, going back to your journey a little bit, as a judge, you worked with as a judge at the MasterChef India, right? And you worked with upcoming chefs, people who aspire to be where you are today. You both are today, rather. So, what is it that you look for when you're judging chefs, or when you're even looking at people who are just in the beginning of their journey? What is it that tells you that yes, this guy has it, or this person has it in them to make it to the next level?
So there are three things that you look for when you're looking at somebody who's competing. One is you look for the thought. So every dish needs to have a thought behind it. You cannot just create something because you know how to make it. There needs to be a thought behind a dish, and how well has the thought been translated onto the plate is what matters. Then there's obviously the taste. Taste is key because that's the foundation on which any dish stands. Whether all across the world, the taste is the foundation. You cannot change that principle. And the presentation, of course. Now, the presentation, while it stands on top of the pyramid, you cannot base your dish on presentation. You have to base it on taste, and you have to make sure you present it well. It's important, but like I say, the foundation is taste, and what really makes the difference is the thought behind the dish. Just, yeah, the concept, the story behind the dish, the concept, your thought, your feeling, and how well you've expressed it into a dish. That's actually the differentiating factor. Yeah.
That's some really good advice for somebody who's looking to participate in a competition, of course. And this world today, over the years, I feel that it's become more competitive, and there's so many competitions happening these days, and everybody seems to want to be part of it and grow through that path. Now, were there any competitions in your journey? Were you a participant in any of the competitions?
Yeah, so I was a part of the World Pastry Forum when it happened here in Phoenix, 2004. Uh, that was that, and there were a lot of competitions early in life. The Mango Festival, the Indian Culinary Forum competition and stuff. I think they're important. Competitions are very important. One is there always wake-up calls because you get to see what the industry is at par with. Also, competitions are important because normally when you cook, you're never under real pressure. Competitions put you in pressure, and you have to cook well as well. So I think yeah, they bring out the best new. Yeah.
Now, speaking of ingredients a little bit, do you have, I know you do a variety of different foods. Do you have a favorite ingredient that you like to add to everything you cook? Besides salt. Or sugar, rather.
Yeah. So for me, ultimately coriander. Eventually, I don't know why it always comes into all my dishes. So, so coriander happens to be that kind of an ingredient. Um, Other than that, no, not really. It's more it's more fascination. So the kitchen that you're in, you find something good, you just put it in. It's very instinctive. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's always nice to hear different perspectives, and especially coming from experts. And we have another expert sitting here who is an Italian expert as well as Indian expert. So you have two restaurants. There's Da Vinci in Boston, and there's Soul of India in Sudbury. So would you like to tell us more about that?
Da Vinci opened like 2007. We worked together, me and Ranveer. We done this one. Then after like two, people ask me, "You Indian? Why no cook Indian food?" I said, "You know why? There's no time. I would like cook Italian food. Is my blood almost. You know, I was in Germany with Italian family. They teach me speak Italian language, Italian food. I don't want to mix up with the Indian spicy. You know, then I did actually. We together did it. Masala ravioli, right? The first one. It going very hit. Then they asked me more fusion. I like to more fusion. The problem, like people confuse so much. Was it Indian or Italian? I said, you know what? Forget it. Just keep Italian. When eventually open Indian restaurant, then take care of the Indian way. Thank God, in 2012 we find a place in Sudbury. It used to Pungo, at Route 20, and we take over. And I call Ranveer. So we find the Indian restaurant to be open there. I want to open Italian first, and the kitchen design no like my way. I like open kitchen, and if I open kitchen, that cut down a lot of space. Had to put more table, like it's losing a lot of seating. I called him. I said, "Why not open Indian restaurant?" I said, "Open my nephew Ladi. He work like a bunch Indian restaurant too. He's a good chef." He said, "No, I have like what we like." But he said, "You want an Indian restaurant open? Send to him Bombay. Let me teach him." One we have sent to Bombay. He work in Novotel this time, and Ranveer teach him really authentic Indian cuisine. We're very lucky to find him to bring it up a scale. Is I say one Indian food like I don't want like same Indian restaurant Boston have. It's not bad anybody. I don't say bad anybody. We want a different label, the like spicy ways, how cook with the food, and I don't press so much. I go to a lot of restaurants. I know like what I like to. Thank God. Think about Novotel, what can be teaching him the Indian cuisine. People so love the place. It's all his hard work, Ranveer, to teach to Ladi. Then we bring the label, other label. Now we find one more place. It's open Italian in a Sudbury. We just get location Route 20. We open it called Da Vinci Bistro. It's open like other 4 or 5 months. We just get the application. We got the contraction starting like maybe next month. We start work with the like city hall, all the stuff. And well, Da Vinci restaurant called Da Vinci Bistro. It's not the same food in like we do in here. Da Vinci is a different label. It's like more rustic. Then the restaurant like look like mini Italy, wood table, nice like you see, a very antique place we doing over there. And now we working and thank God he's come Boston. Like, it's a more sport to me to help me to bring to other level, you know. And this is thank God my brother just one. He's a manager there. My lad, the nephew, he's a chef there. I teach him Italian too. You know, we have family to run a restaurant together. It's fun. We work together. We grew up together. We live together. The same house, you know. This is the way. My kids, Jay kids, my laddie kids, like they're growing together, you know. This I want. But thank God we started soon contraction. The Vinci is always same, and we keep more better. Other level, that's what we're doing. This is a high-end restaurant, like it's white tablecloths. It's a lot of you open only dinner. And at Sudbury, we eventually open lunch too. But right now we work for dinner. We had a nice menu, like rustic Italian menu, not like the same. It's different menu. We eat Da Vinci Boston, go Da Vinci Sudbury, different food. It's not the same food, right? Thank God.
That sounds good. It sounds like business and food run in the family. That's good. Yes, that's wonderful. Now, did it run in your family too, or were you the outlier?
No, I was not, definitely not the. Um we're not a family of cooks.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're a family of engineers and army officers, and so I was the odd one out when I said, "Hey, I want to be a cook." Yeah, it took some time to warm up to the idea, you know. But eventually, I think they didn't have a choice. The family didn't have a choice. So it all worked out in the end, and that's what I say. It's not. See, it's. No, I think it's important not to conform to what's going on. It's very important to carve a path for yourself. Um, and while you are the odd one out, for me, it's a good sign. If you're not fitting in, it's a good sign. Then don't try to fit in. Try to make a way for yourself. Yeah.
I think that that message is going to resonate with a lot of us out there who are listening, as well as me. I am also an outlier, the odd one out. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who can understand and really feel what you just said. That you have to be self-aware. You have to be aware of what you want as a person, what makes you happy, and then everything else seems to fall in place once you make up your mind. As they say, the universe conspires to make it happen. So looks like it did make it happen for the two of you. So thank you so much for sharing your journeys. It was beautiful talking to both of you and feeling that bond and that of friendship, which is amazing in today's world to be able to have that a selfless bond, unconditional, as you said. In the same field, which is awesome. I think that itself is a huge inspiration for a lot of us out there. So thank you.
Thank you very much. It was fun talking to you. It was fun reliving my times in Boston, reliving our relationship through you. Yeah.
And we do hope to see you more often in Boston.
Inshallah, hopefully. Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate the support.